There once was a lady of high standing. She was beautiful, but had been sickly from early childhood. In her young adulthood, she passed away and was mourned by her family and all the people in her realm, as she was a person of the sweetest character and was loved by many. Several weeks passed, but although the thought of her brought sadness, people went back to their routines, not knowing what tragedy was ahead. At first, farm animals started disappearing. People thought it was just a wild animal feeding, but after some time, a child was taken from the village. Fear grew large and dark, and even larger and darker when more people went missing. Sometimes bodies of these people turned up in ditches or deep in the forest, mauled and massacred. The silence of nights was disturbed by blood-curdling screams and howling. A rumor was started that a demon was haunting the realm. The village was terrorized for several weeks when a group of young men came back. Among them was a young knight, a tall and strong man, who had hoped to marry the lady. He loved her dearly and knew nothing of her tragic death. When he arrived in the village, he went straight to see her. This was when her parents informed him of her passing. He was maddened with grief and sorrow. The lady's mother offered to show him her grave, but he refused. In his memory, she was alive as long as he did not see her name written on a tombstone. He wandered the forest at night, howling and crying for his loved one, but nothing could bring her back to him. It was nearly dawn when he decided to finally find her grave. To his surprise, the tombstone was shifted and the grave empty. The moment he realized what he was looking at, he heard a piercing howl. The demon the people were talking about was near. He hid behind another tombstone and observed a figure enter the grave inscribed with his lover's name. At the last moment, right before it disappeared, it looked straight at him. To his surprise, it was his lady's face. It was dirty, decaying and crooked with hate, but it was the face he loved. A mixture of emotions surged through him. He was angry that such a terrible thing happened to his beloved, but he was also happy to see her, if not alive, then at least not dead. He decided to visit the wise woman living in the vicinity and ask her if there was any way to help. The wise woman listened to him intently, and her face was growing more and more concerned. Finally she said, "Your lady turned into a demon called Strika. They are wild creatures, extremely dangerous. She's fast, constantly hungry and angry at anything she sees. Yet do not lose hope. There is a way to save her. What you have to do is go to her at night, not let her into her tomb until the dawn, and survive. It is not an easy task. She will attack you. You have to remember, it is not her, not the girl you love, but a demon. Prepare yourself. Bring your sword and anything that you think might come in handy. Prepare yourself for a possibility that if she is too strong for you, you may have to kill her or die fighting for her. Now listen to me, boy. You have to keep her out of the tomb till dawn, but the first rays of sunlight are not enough. You have to wait until the rooster calls out 3 times. Only then the curse will be broken. Should you have to kill her, make sure to cut her head off, otherwise she will recover and come back. These creatures don't die easily." The knight left the wise woman's house concerned. He spent the rest of the day making the necessary preparations, and at sunset he went to where his beloved was buried. and waited there for her to come out. The time after she left the grave was all haze in his memory. Just like the wise woman said, she attacked him, and her attacks were vicious. He decided to stay near the tomb and prepare a type of defense for it to keep her away. He fought bravely and never left his position. The first rays of sun felt like a blessing. The time was near. He was worn out, injured in multiple places, and bone-tired. He focused all his strength to stand the attacks. She got scared as she saw the sun rising and doubled the power of her attacks. All she wanted was to hide. She scraped her long, sharp, decaying fingernails across his chest as the first call of the rooster was heard. She screamed in panic and tried to attack from the back. She failed. She was growing weaker as the sun was burning her skin. The rooster called out the second time. He could barely see, for he was exhausted. He lifted his sword, preparing for her last attack, when the rooster called out the third time. At this very moment, he saw her drop to the ground. He wanted to run to her and catch her, but he slipped into oblivious unconsciousness. They both woke up in comfortable beds, still exhausted, and listened to people telling the story of terrible noises during the night and how they found them in the morning in the graveyard. The lady recovered as much as she could. She was still a sickly woman, and sometimes she seemed to be in another place, but she lived on, and the two of them were happy together.